there everybody, it's me Alexa, and today we're going to be reviewing the recent Netflix film Extraction. This film is directed by a stuntman named Sam Hargraves and stars Chris Hemsworth, Randeep Hooda, as well as Rudraksh Jaiswal. I'm going to refer to him as the kid from here on out because I know I'm saying his name wrong and I'm very sorry. As well as Golshifteh Farahani and David Arbor and many other talented people are in the film. But honestly, the star of the show is Chris Hemsworth. I'm going to try and make this a quicker review than what I normally do because I don't really have too much to say about it. This is a very straightforward movie. If you like action, you're gonna like this movie. It's really just Chris Hemsworth going in and kicking butt. I mean, just absolutely, that is 99% of the movie. They do have some nice little emotional scenes with some character development, but overarchingly, only really Chris's character gets developed at all. The other characters are pretty in the background. Randeep Hooda does have a really nice moment with his character. He has one kind of gross moment involving his nose. Really big props to the makeup department for that one. But he also has a really nice emotional moment. And then we get glimpses of the kid, but we don't really learn anything about him at all. We don't really learn about anyone besides Chris Hemsworth. Even him we barely learn about. So if you want a movie with a lot of character development, then I would not recommend this film. It is really just high action, but the action in this movie was so good. That one shot that they did, there's a making of video. It's really incredible. I definitely recommend checking it out. But it is so well done. It's not an actual one shot. It's a bunch of long takes that are stitched together. But the flow of it is so spectacular, and big props to Chris Hemsworth and the kid for doing everything, because there's no real time for there to be a stunt double for either of them, and Randeep Hooda, Randeep Hooda, I'm not sure which way to pronounce it, but all of them have these great moments where they're doing some really high action stuff. Like Chris Hemsworth says in that making of video that this was one of the most intense movies he's done yet, and when you continually have these longer action shots, it definitely has to be, because you have to be the one doing it, and he's used to with Thor, where there's a lot more CGI and such. And even the Men in Black movie he was in had a lot more CGI than this. And also many more cuts, so you're able to make it be a stunt double instead of yourself in some of those really difficult moments. But in this, they had to figure out what everyone was capable of doing. And I have huge
props to the director, Sam Hargraves. I mean, we've been seeing some really great films from stuntmen, action films particularly. Of course, there's the John Wick movies. I've only actually seen the first one. I keep meaning to watch all the others and just not getting around to it. But the John Wick movies, and this has a similar kind of style to it, where it is just this really high action movie, and it's really well done action. The focus of this movie is definitely the action. And that is for all aspects. How the cameras move, which are really well done, how the actors move, how the whole story moves along. It's surrounding around these action sequences. And it definitely would be a bit too violent for some people. I don't really care. That doesn't really bother me much. But I know I can definitely see it being a bit too violent, because it does get really violent. But it's also, though, because it feels very real a lot of the time during these fight sequences. There definitely is still CGI, like some of the car explosions and such. It's very clearly CGI. But the actual fight choreography and such is done so well. And there's this one scene inside of a building, and Chris's character is just constantly using things in his surroundings. It's so really awesome. I love when characters do that. They do that in the climax fight scene I remember in Ratsasan, where they just kind of utilize the things around them to kill people and fight them and such. And well, Ratsasan not so much kill, but fighting and such. And so in this, he's grabbing whatever's around and thinking how he can utilize it to attack the person, and does a really good job, and it all flows together so well. And he's constantly switching between his guns, and you can really tell that the person who made this knows a lot about stunts and about fighting and fight choreography, because it was really just beautifully done. As far as the story goes, it's not the most complex story. It was indeed written by Joe Russo, who's one of the directors for the Avengers Endgame and the Avengers Infinity War, and alongside his brother Anthony, who also helped with the story and produced it, but Joe wrote the actual screenplay. So yeah, story-wise, it's very simple. It's very predictable. Honestly, I predicted most of the plot from the trailer, which is also against Netflix. Stop giving away everything in your trailers, in your one-sentence descriptions on your site. Please let us discover it as we watch. But anyways, I actually did record a reaction to the trailer, but then I had some issues with the footage and I was unable to post it, which I was very sad about. But I did watch it and try to do a reaction to it. Whenever I watched it, I literally said what happened in the film. Like, I'm like, I think this is what's gonna happen, and then like all of that happened. So it was definitely not a very complex or new story, but the action in it was so well done that it's still really entertaining and fun to watch. And if you like action, I 100% recommend this movie. They do a good job setting up the villains as well. I mean, they have them like hurt children, and then right away you're like, yep, these are the bad guys. And so that was well done. But it's just very straightforward. The biggest compliment I can give to it is just that it has incredible action and camera movement. The directing in it is really phenomenal. The only thing it's really lacking in is unique story and character development, but that's not what this movie's for. This movie is for a fun, entertaining action movie, and it delivers on that. Alrighty, I think that's all I have to say about the Extraction movie. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe, and I hope you all are staying safe out there and have an amazing day. Bye!